Today is Sunday, August 25th, 2024. It's about 11:15, 11:30. I ended up making my tea today. Normally I do it on Saturday, but if you have seen my video yesterday, I mentioned that there was something going on yesterday, so I didn't get a chance to make the tea, which I generally do it on Saturday. So I did it this morning, and I listened to some online church service. A friend of mine, she goes to church, and then I'm trying to learn some things from Christianity. And if you guys have seen my videos before, I am a born Hindu, and then I also learned a lot of things from Buddhism, mindfulness, all of that in the last many months, and I still keep learning. And also recently I started learning things from Christianity, because I think I'm very open to religion, so I think all religions have something to offer that we can all learn from. And so that's why I was trying to learn. I was thinking to go there in person. There was one other time Alice and I actually went. It was on Easter, and in some way, unfortunately, that's the day she first broke her arm, and later on she broke it again at school. But thankfully we are all finally done with it after 4.5 months. She's okay. So I listened to it on their YouTube live, and instead of going, because I couldn't go there, and it was very timely. It was and I'll be honest, not everything I heard resonated with me, but some things did really resonate. I think in some way all religion talks about being kind, being nice, especially when people are not nice to us, and just leave it to God for people who are not trying to help us, rather hurt us. They talk about leave it to God for those things, instead of trying to fix those people. And I think those messages are there in all religions, and said it differently. My mom, when I grew up in India, she has one simple message that if you can do something, always do good for people, never do anything bad. Because this concept is in Hinduism, it's called karma, which is also in Buddhism, that karma is about what goes around comes around. So if we do something bad to somebody in some way or the other, either in this life or in future life, it'll come back. And if we do good, that good also comes back. And we are human beings, so we will not always be perfect, but we gotta do our best. We gotta try to be our best version for ourselves, for people around us, and especially for kids, so that they can learn the good. Sometimes things can be very challenging when you have many things going on around, but you have to keep your focus, your goal to that light, not the darkness, because darkness will always try to feed itself, and in adverse situations it gets more fuel, right? So we have to be very vigilant to not feed the darkness, just feed the positivity and the light. Because recently I have been listening to law of attraction, manifesting, all of that quite a bit. And yesterday I watched the movie The Secret again after a long time, and it talks about the power of feeling grateful, and these are my gratitude cards. So this morning, gratitude is one thing, and the visualization, these two things are very, very important for manifesting the life that we want. So it's also very important. I've been trying this for a couple of days, and I think it does help not to focus on the past, not to what has happened, because our mind will start focusing on that, and it will, because that's a comfort zone. Even though there could be difficult things, it's in our comfort zone. Our mind tends to go to what is known, even if it is bad. Our mind doesn't want to go to the unknown, so we have to push our mind to go to the unknown. Because if you think in your life, when you came out of your comfort zone, only then the real good things happened. Yes, sometime when you excuse me, went to the unknown territory, things didn't always go in your favor, but a lot of good came out of that too. So to uncover something good, to uncover something extraordinary, we got to try something new. And so focusing on the past will never take us to our fullest potential, to get to our fullest potential, to do good, to be the person you always wanted to be. You have to take chances, you have to keep doing good, and then here and there we will fall off. But every time you fall, you just have to get back up one more time. That's what they say, that you just have to get back up one more time. So I give Alice these lunch cards, they're called, but I give her every morning because she wanted it every morning. So they're small cards, and every day at the back of the cards I write a little note, and she really loves them. And initially when I was writing, I didn't think through much, but now when I do it, I actually write some good messages for her. Like yesterday I wrote, which I always tell her also, like, always believe in yourself no matter what, and do not ever give up. These are the things that in my case, I had to tell myself, because that's how I dealt with in my life. Because after I went to college, which was very far from my home, I was 18, and since then until now, my midlife, I'm in 40s, even when people didn't believe in me, I had to believe in myself. Now, it was not always easy, it was hard, and not giving up. If I really wanted something, I had to go for it, I had to fight for it, I had to do whatever I can to bring that into reality. So I try to tell Alice that to not give up and believe in herself, because I know that how much it would have helped me if somebody told me those when I was growing up. And I am no way a perfect mom. I make mistakes, I make a lot of mistakes, but I try my best. And sometimes they say, I've been listening to this book, How to Raise Emotionally Intelligent Child by John Gottman, and sometimes even when we have our best interest in mind for our kids, we can still make mistakes, and it is okay. Even the best of the best, John Gottman, he brings up examples where he also learned from experience. And we won't be perfect. They say that even in Buddhism books, I think I read, like, everybody, all of us, even and some other books too, even in the happiest situation when kids grow up, there is always some suffering that would happen in human life, because life is suffering in Buddhism, they say. But then how we deal with those suffering is what makes our life beautiful, because there are many ways to deal with those sufferings. And life can be wonderful and dreadful. That's what Thich Nhat Hanh says. And so I try to remember that. And sometimes when our mind goes in spiral, especially thinking about the future, how the future is going to unfold, it could be scary. But the wise people in my life, they tell me that think what you can do right now, think what you can do today. And that's what I try to remind myself, because nobody has seen the future. And there is a thing that I read somewhere, I can't remember where, that a quotation by somebody popular, that our biggest fears never really come to reality, and which is a good thing, because sometimes we are afraid of things, and in our mind we think the extreme, but thankfully that those extreme never happens, right? And in some way it's not a bad thing that our mind goes there, because if our mind goes there, then we try to stay prepared for that very bad thing. And then when a little bad happens, we know how to manage that. And so that's why I think it's not always bad. One of my mantra, I talk about look for positive in every situation. And I think that is also something that, because when we think, our thinking is an action too. So when our mind is going there, that we are worried or sad about something from the past, there is some good that can come out of that, is that thinking about the action we can take. How can we turn that challenging situation to something positive? What we can learn from that, maybe, or what I can do it in advance so that that doesn't happen, right? So there's always ways to look for positive. And last night, when I was reading a book, maybe this thought came to my mind. And none of this is new, right? So we just, sometimes when we read books or watch TV or something, it comes to our mind again. And remembering these things are not easy, and which is why also I make these videos, because then it kind of stays in my mind. Is that feeding our mind is so important. So yesterday, Saturday evening, I went to the gym. If you have seen my video, you know that I talk about this weekend. Friday evening I went to the gym, Saturday evening I went to the gym, which is very, very unusual for me in my midlife now, because I think I did that when I was in 20s, and then life got busy. Even when I went to gym, it was never on weekends and the evenings, but life is a little different now, so I go there sometime, and in some way it's good, because I do need to lose a lot of weight. So plus when I go there, I listen to audiobooks, so it as I'm exercising, I also try to feed my mind with the good. And back in 2020 I did that, actually, because 2020, when pandemic hit, I didn't go to the gym because going to the gym was not an option. But I used to exercise at home 1 to 2 hours every day, once in the morning and again sometime once in the evening. And while exercising, I used to do this Leslie Sansone walking video. I used to follow those, and then also some Zumba dance. I used to do them, and I would mute the TV and exercise in front of the TV following those videos. And on my phone, I used to listen to Abraham Hicks about the frequency, law of attraction, all of that. And I remember how during the pandemic, how in difficult situations I was able to feel better when a lot of people were struggling. And we had some struggle too, but I was able to manage the emotions so much better. So in some way, I'm trying to do that now too, because it is so important to feed our minds also with the good, because in our physical body, it's easy to see when we don't eat healthy, or when we eat things that's not really good for us, that's not nourishing. We gain weight, we see that, it's very visible. However, in our mind, if we could, I was just thinking in my mind that how if we could draw a slender body, that's our normal mind, like a good conscious aware mind. And then when we are feeding it with lots of, I don't know, like negative emotions, the sadness from the past or the worry from the future, the slender body becomes that big, kind of as if like it gained weight. And to cut those things is like we have to keep feeding the good. And what happens is, as I always talk about, our mind has that negative side and the positive side, which is the conscious mind, only 5%, and this is like 95%. So when we keep feeding that, what happens is this becomes more active, and this still stays in our body, it stays dormant. So we have to remember to keep feeding that positivity, our mind, to stay good, to stay in that positive zone. And the community is a big part of it. So I try to maintain that connectedness with my good friends who see the positivity in me, who encourages me to do good, and keep moving forward. So that's very important. I just will take a few deep breaths, because the mindfulness is still very helpful. Last night I had a little challenge sleeping, and so I was trying to focus on the mindfulness and also praying. That helped. Sometimes our bodies have so much stress we don't even realize. So now that when I was taking a deep breath with awareness, full awareness, I had to, my shoulder was all tense, and I kind of, like how Thich Nhat Hanh would say, I was kind of releasing them. Like he would say, breathe in, like calm your body down like water. So I was trying to do that. And when we don't do that intentionally, it just stays that way. Yeah, focusing all our senses, anything that goes through our senses, even if you're watching a good TV show or a bad TV show, all of this is getting absorbed in our mind. And both of these sides, either the bad or the good, is getting the fuel. So you can decide what's good for you, what's bad for you, because all of this the senses is absorbing anything that we are feeding to our mind, our soul. And there is always an impact of that. And do little intention setting and visualization. mantra: I accept, I trust in God. I speak to uplift others, love, harmony, patience, present moment, kindness, forgive. I positive in every situation, let go, let go. Be kind and empathetic, grateful, and visualize the manifestation of something good, of the things that I want. And that is what I'm trying to focus on. They say that Wayne Dyer and others, that focus on what you want, focus on, keep your focus there and take action towards it, take positive action. Because if our action doesn't match with the manifestation that we are looking for, then we are sending mixed signal to the universe. So it is important to make sure that our action matches, and action is the thinking. Thinking is also an action. Feeling is also an action. So, and we will fall, it is okay, we will get sidetracked, but the important part is gently bringing ourselves back to the path that we are walking on, right? So think of it as like we're driving in a highway and we have to go, I don't know, say, if you're in the United States, if I were to say like in a Highway 95, you're going from Florida to New York. In between, it's probably 15 hours drive. In between, there will be so many exits, and sometime, even if you don't want to, you will get sidetracked. You'll take exit, just come back. It's, I don't know, there's some way it resonated with me, so I kind of told that story to myself, that even if you take the exit, just come back. There's always a way to come back to the highway to get to your destination. My destination is not necessarily New York, but it's a metaphor that I'm using, that always come back to that highway. Because if you keep coming back, sooner or later you will reach to the destination. So draw your destination. Maybe actually I might even do that on a paper, that if I'm here and I need to get there, the way they say is this also exists. What is in our mind, everything exists. It's just we have to get our mindset, the frequency matched with that vibration, and then we'll reach there. So I don't know, you could put the destination up here and you're here, so your vibration have to go up, like meaning if you are feeling neutral now, and if you when you feel pleasant and happy, that's where this happy feeling is, somehow to figure out a way to keep getting there, right? When we feel sad or angry or resentment, our mind automatically goes down, and the frequency levels are like that. But then we are feeling happy, it goes up. When we feel peace, it goes up further, and finally it's like the enlightenment, right? The monks, they stay in that zone a lot, but we human beings, when we're extremely happy, that happens, like the mini enlightenment happens. But generally in a day-to-day life, it's not easy to stay there. We would keep falling down, but we have to figure out a way to get there, right? Where our frequency goes up and keep feeling better. Sometimes those the nourishing food for mind is like books. There is this book, The Power of Positive Thinking. There's this Dale Carnegie book, How to Make Friends and Influence People. There is this, The Art of Living, one of the best books ever. Thich Nhat Hanh. And if you follow Christianity, there's Bible. I'm still trying to understand Bible. I don't fully understand yet, because it's very different than what I grew up with. So I'm trying to understand some of it from some of my friends. And there is How to Smile, How to Love by Thich Nhat Hanh. There's many other books I have. So those are all nourishing food for our minds. So either that, or talking to a friend, or whatever helps, or even going out for a walk for 5 minutes. Being out in the nature, feeling grateful for the sun, the blue sky, the tree, Mother Earth. air, feeling grateful, right? I was talking about the gratitude feeling yesterday when I was watching the movie The Secret, and I paused and made this video so that I can retain it better, and it did help me to retain it better. Because if you consider universe or God like how you would, what gets recognized gets repeated with people, like when you, so gratitude is almost like recognizing to the universe that you are so grateful for universe to make all of this happen, right? If you think of it, our life itself is a miracle, because all the conditioning and the decisioning that happened to make this life possible from our birth till here, it's nothing other than miracle, right? Like they say, if you think everything in life can be a miracle, or everything in life can be considered as not a miracle. So it depends on how you look at it, right? So feeling grateful for the things, Thich Nhat Hanh would say that if you start writing down in a piece of paper, there'll be so much more good that happened in our life than the bad. If you take in another paper and write, you'd realize that so many things we take for granted in our life, and we can be grateful for that. So when we recognize that with the universe, more good would happen. And so yes, and in that movie, the gratitude and the visualizing that future that you want to manifest will bring it to reality sooner than later. In that movie, they talk about there were some Olympic athletes, the runners. They did some experiments where some runners, they had some wires and stuff attached to their head, and they told them in their mind, so they closed their eyes, and in their mind as if they're running in the tracks. And some of the other ones, they were really running, and later when they compared the signal, it was the same. Like people were imagining that they're running and people who are really running on the tracks. So what the conclusion from that is that our mind, you can trick our mind in a good way. Like, so the mind didn't know that those people, those athletes, they were actually not running, rather just imagining. So it's almost that subconscious mind. The conscious mind can trick the subconscious mind just by thinking the visualization. If the feeling matches, because feeling is what the feeling is, the frequency, right? So thinking has a frequency, but ultimately the thinking creates that feeling, which is the actual frequency. If it matches with the peace, joy, harmony, and enlightenment, those feeling, then you are in that zone. So more you get into that zone, your subconscious gets tricked that you are more here, up here, than you're up here. So then your default becomes to stay here, to stay in that good zone. So yeah, I don't know, I feel a little pumped today, I think, from watching that movie yesterday. And so I think I just get to keep doing that, because our physical body also has a big part in that. Yesterday, day before, in the evenings, I could feel sad. Instead, I decided to go to the gym and just work out. Not much, 20-30 minutes, even that helped. And then it gave me the idea that whenever, if situation is like that, I could feel sad. Instead of that, I could go to the gym. So, which will be a win-win for my physical body and my emotion, because then I listen to the good audiobooks or something related to manifestation. So I'll be feeding good food to my mind and to my body. Anyway, so this was the morning video today. I might make one or two in the afternoon or in the evening. I think I'm getting into the rhythm again to stay on the path, stay on course. Yeah, hoping for the week to unfold in a good way. And there will be a lot of exits, but when I talk about that, going from Florida to New York, there will be exits, but we just got to bring ourselves back. Just got to bring ourselves back to the highway. Okay, bye.